Hello guys, welcome to your cryptocurrency report for this Monday, December 10th, 2018. Thank you for joining the show. Welcome here, and we're going to get started. We're going to open up the charts right here, and the first thing we're going to talk about is Bitcoin price. We're over at Bitstamp. We're looking at a price of $34.10. I'm going to tell you what, we're getting some really big candles and really quick developing, quick moving today. Up and down, mostly down. I'm going to tell you, I think Bitcoin is starting to get a bit oversold at this point in time, at this juncture in time. All the errors come out of it. If we go back and take a look at this chart, let's take a look at the one-day chart right here and close it in, and we take a look at the peak here of $19,666. And do you see what's happened ever since? It's just been down, 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 down in this bear market. And I don't think it really got started to get oversold. It was holding this price up around $6,400, and we've had this huge decline, and this is why I think what's oversold it. And I'll tell you where I think it got oversold. Right at this spot right here, where this hip. If we take a look, closer look, see this little hip right here? When all of a sudden it was crashing down, and all of a sudden we hit this little hip right here, that was the price trying to stabilize. But it didn't stabilize. It fell down to a new low. From here down to here is where I think where we've been oversold. That's where we got oversold. We oversold when we hit $4,000, $39.99. As soon as it went under $4,000, we got into oversold territory, and we've been in oversold territory. Right now, we're in oversold territory. How much lower do I think it'll go? I think it could break down to where we get a 2 in front of the number of Bitcoin, so $2,999. I think that's going to be a psychological barrier right there because we're already oversold. It very well could make it down to that price, though, before we set a bottom, because this is what markets do. Markets overshoot targets. They overshoot things. They become oversold. They become overbought. Just like Bitcoin, if we go back here to this mountain here of $19,666, it was overbought at that point. And so the market's equaling itself out. What this market is actually doing is it's finding fair market value. And it quite literally thought that it had found fair market value when the price was $6,400. Right along here. Look at this shelf right here. Stayed here for the longest time, all the way back. It stayed here for the longest time, around 6,400. It had thought that it found fair market value. Now we've become oversold. So let's move to cryptocurrency market capitalizations. What we're looking at today is $110 billion of market cap, and we're looking at 55.1% Bitcoin dominance. And we're seeing that some of our top favorite coins are on sale right now. Really, they're on sale. You're going to look back at some point in the future, in history, and you're going to say, gee, what a great sale that was on these coins. You're going to say things like, you could have had a whole Monero for $44. And it's just going to be unreal, the prices right now in comparison to what they're going to be. When this is completed, its, let's call it task. These things are setting themselves up, almost like a security net, to catch what? If you've seen a fire crew come into a building and they start setting up a net on the ground of some sort to catch something that's going to fall off the building or whatever. Well, that's what this is. This is like a net. But this is a net to catch when the fiat currencies fall. What are they going to catch? They're going to catch all the value of everything. It's going to be transferred over into these. These are setting themselves up. They're positioning themselves. They're ready to accept voluminous amounts of capital or energy or your labor or whatever. Be stored in, right now that's stored in fiat. Your labor is stored in fiat. Every time you go to work, you earn so many dollars an hour. That's storing your labor in fiat. It's going to be stored in this stuff eventually down the road. And I don't think it's going to take long. Once that transfer actually starts to take place, it's going to move rather quickly. Let's take a look at here's the thing. This is the direction crypto's moving in right now, and it's going underreported. These task force This is a UT task force that is going to regulate the cryptocurrency sector, and they're going to have it in place by June 2019. It says the FATF are urging the United Kingdom to regulate the cryptocurrency sector after a review. So this is going to, in effect, make cryptocurrencies regulated. They're going to regulate them. The Financial Action Task Force right here is going to, in the UK, is going to regulate cryptocurrencies. This is going to make cryptocurrency actually more accepted because it's a regulated industry. It's not going to be a fly by the seat of your pants. You know, it's amazing that Bitcoin was actually able to make it to $20,000 per coin with such little bit of government regulation that they had in place at that particular time. But you're not going to be able to stop this trend. Here's a trend developing, and the trend is to regulate cryptocurrencies. And as these regulators work at it, they're going to become more and more adept at regulating cryptocurrencies, and they're going to set a world standard for cryptocurrency regulation. They're not going to do away with cryptocurrencies. They're not going to do away with cryptocurrencies. What they're going to do is they're going to regulate them and tax them. This is becoming apparently obvious that that's the direction that they're moving in. Okay, so let's take a look here. Bitcoin price tailspins, heads for $3,000 amid high volatility levels. And this is exactly what's going on. Bitcoin is actually headed toward the $3,000 mark. When it crosses that $3,000 threshold, I think we've put in our bottom. I think that's my opinion, and that's why if we get that low, I'm going to buy in I'm going to try to get my major purchase, I think, is going to be right there as soon as it breaks below $3,000. So that I'm going to do something, because I mean, you just can't stand still and let opportunity pass you by in life. You know what I mean? And I think this is going to be a golden opportunity right here. So I mean, that's my opinion only. Not financial advice. I'm not telling any of you to buy this stuff, because I mean, what if the internet went down or something, you know? I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. Well, if the internet went down, we're all in a pickle of trouble anyway, you know? Because every time I get in the lineup at the cash registers or whatever, you know, and I'm getting ready to check out, I'm just amazed. Every time I do it, I'm amazed. All the people in front of me use that little black box. Even when I go to McDonald's or I go to Wendy's or whatever to get something to eat, I'm in the car behind them. I'm amazed. They hand them this little black box out the window with a cord attached to it. And I'm amazed how quick it went to that. Because just 10 years ago, they all used to hang cash at the drive-thru. Now it's all black box time. And I mean, here's the thing. If the internet goes down, I mean, at this point, we've integrated our society into the internet to the point where if the internet goes down, I mean, we're all basically done. We're toast. And they've got no backup systems in place. They don't even have backup systems in place for our electrical supply and stuff like that. What are they thinking? There's no redundant systems in place for if anything goes down. You know, if an oil refinery goes down or something, they don't have any redundant systems in place. They don't have any oil stockpiles put away that they can rely upon for logistically for these different areas and stuff. Yeah, they got in the United States, they do have an oil stockpile, but it would take them months to take that oil stockpile and be able to actually move it to the places where it's actually needed, like the pumps and stuff, if there was some sort of a crisis. We're setting ourselves up because we're basically flying by the seat of our pants, but none of us know that. In a modern society that's never been tested before. The internet's never had a thorough testing of actually, we're putting all of our reliance into something that's never actually been tested. It's a non-tested system. We're just saying, okay, let's just do this and jump right in there. Tear out the old cash registers, you know, and put these new ones in that can only function if the internet's online, you know, our cash registers. So now you go to a store and you can't make a purchase unless the internet's up and running. You know, it's all ridiculous. It was bad enough to make the cash register so that it wouldn't function unless it's plugged in. That's bad enough. You know, but to make it so that it has to have the internet running and be plugged in at the same time is even worse. I mean, we should go back to the old cash registers where they don't even need to be plugged in. All they had was a handle on them. You pulled the handle down, it made a nice ka-ching sound. You know? What did they do with all those great old cash registers that didn't need modern, newfangled internet and power supply? What did they do with them all? They all carted them all down to the scrap metal places, and they smashed them all up with sledgehammers and put them on that magnet that takes them up in the air and drops them on the back of a train, and then they go off and they're melted down into, to be able to make something else out of them. You know, and I mean, we've messed everything up. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.